Hello and welcome to the 6th edition of After the Flag. It is round 6 of the MotoGP World Championship and we're at the beautiful Mugello. Just look at the views that we've got around us. Steve Day here, Birt and Simon Crafar to talk you through the day's action. It might be Rossi territory, but it's been Lorenzo land here today. He's back and he's taken a glorious victory. Matt, I'll start with you. Valentino Rossi on pole position, but the man that got to turn one first, as we suspected, he did the business and he's back in business.
He really is, Steve. It was classic vintage Jorge Lorenzo today. He's been to hell and back in these last 18 months. He's been crucified, he's been vilified, he's taken so much criticism. But as we always say, Steve, the test of a true champion is how he reacts in the hard times, the bad times. What a response today from Jorge Lorenzo. He's always said, to be fair, Steve, put a motorcycle underneath me that I'm comfortable and confident with. The first time Ducati have really done that in those 18 months, and look what happened. Wow, a classic start to finish victory from Lorenzo. Probably one of the biggest drive victories we've had in a long, long time. Too little too late though. He said after the race he's still leaving Ducati, but great to see him back on the top step of the podium. Thoroughly deserved.
They always say class is permanent, Simon, and it seems to be the case. I know you're a big fan of Jorge before we started the season. Our After the Flag coverage during the tests. What are your thoughts?
I mean, yeah, Jorge's 5 times world champion. I've never had any doubt. You've kind of gone along with that. I just was surprised it hadn't come before now because he's a star. The thing is that I'm worried about is he won here, but I think he had to because Mark was out. Ducati is famously good on the front tyre compared to the other bikes. So is Jorge. And Ducati is the fastest bike at this big long straight. And I think if he hadn't have done it here, where's he going to do it? And it also makes me wonder if it's not going to be difficult for him to do it the next one. You know, I think it will be. I don't think he's in the clear yet, you know, with the Ducati.
Well, you just mentioned Marc Marquez out, of course. That's a major talking point. The championship leader, 36-point lead coming into this. He's had some twitchy moments all weekend. He gambled on the harder option, which seemed to work for him in morning warm-up. But unfortunately, I mean, again, he tried to save it, Matt, but no points for Marc today.
He did. He's been flirting with danger all weekend, Steve. Throughout this weekend, there's been one thing that's consistently coming out of Marc Marquez's mouth. It's the tyre allocation, the hard front tyre. Even the hardest front tyre, the asymmetric front, was still too soft for him to cope with these hot conditions and his aggressive riding style. He just pushed it that little bit too far at Scarperia. 10 out of 10 for effort, as we said in commentary, Steve. He did his utmost to need to bring that back upright, but this time there was no coming back, and it was a costly mistake. He said pre-race he was going to try and protect that 36-point championship lead, but as we said, his natural instinct took over. He just couldn't curtail himself, could he? He wanted to go for the win. He saw Jorge Lorenzo there, but it was a big mistake in terms of the championship. He's seen his championship lead cut down to 23 points. Game won again.
Unfortunately, Marc Marquez, his weekend sort of littered with moments like that through qualifying and on Friday as well.
At every race, it's like that.
Yeah.
He said last night that he was going to start the race aiming for the victory, you know, and go for it. Then see where he was, manage it, and if it wasn't possible, you know, come home safe. I think, like Le Mans, he was managing it well. You know, he was okay. He was a little faster than at the beginning at Le Mans. He was managing it. I believe he would have fought Jorge for the win if he'd stayed on. And the thing is, just like Le Mans, he took the risk. You know, he lost the front at Le Mans and got away with it, and here he didn't. You know, he's always playing with that danger, isn't he? And it's really good for the championship.
Well, yeah, from a neutral perspective, it is really good for the championship. Quickly on to second place then. Dovizioso, he tried to chase down his teammate. Unfortunately, it didn't come for him, but that championship must have been playing on his mind. 20 precious points after 2 crashes in the last 2 Grand Prix.
Absolutely, Steve. It was really playing on his mind. He thought he had something for Jorge Lorenzo. He just never really got that hard front tyre coming to him in the race, and he said he was right behind Valentino Rossi. First 2 or 3 laps, he said Valentino had 2 or 3 huge moments on that front tyre. That was at the back of his mind. Then he saw Marc Marquez go down as well, so you could understand why he was perhaps a little bit cautious. That let Lorenzo get away. Lorenzo stage managed it absolutely perfectly, and then Dovizioso went into championship mode. He just shut up shop and he thought, after the DNFs in Jerez and Le Mans, I've got to bring that bike home. 20 crucial points. Not the win he wanted, of course, here in Mugello, but great to see Ducati, a rare 1-2 on home soil for them.
Yeah, they're first in Italy as well. Valentino Rossi was third, Simon. A great result for him because, and boy, did he have to fight for that as well.
Exactly. Those Suzukis were right on his tail. The thing is, Valley had a disadvantage here, didn't he? You know, with the speed of the Yamaha against the Dukes, you know, and I think he did all he could. He managed it. He managed that front tyre that nobody really liked, you know, but he got it home. I think he did as good as he could, and great. Kept all the Mugello fans happy.
Well, that's a good point. The atmosphere here today, Matt, absolutely insane. I've never seen anything like it in my life. Back-to-back podiums now for Valentino, and he moves to second in the championship.
Yeah, he's looking good. You know, in conditions that we don't normally associate the Yamaha being that strong, Steve, they clearly found something in that recent Barcelona test. He felt like he could attack the corners more, but you're absolutely right. I've been fortunate to be coming to Mugello now for 23 years. Today was super, super special. We really were gripped by Rossi Mania. 46 fever, took over Italy, didn't it, in many respects. Wasn't the fairy tale victory that we were hoping for Valentino, but his first rostrum here in Mugello since 2015, and we just saw the celebrations afterwards. It was the Yellow Army out in force. It was great to see him back there, and he's right in the championship contention, no doubt about it.
He certainly is. Andrea Iannone didn't perhaps deliver what we expected at the start of the weekend. His pace looked good up until today, and he sort of floated in and out of the battle for third place.
I think he did, okay, not quite as good a start and the speed as we kind of expected looking from yesterday. And even Dovizioso Marquez brought him up in the debrief and said he's got 3/10 on all of us in certain sections. But when it came to race day, he didn't quite do it, but also I think the tyre went down. You pointed it out in the race, Matt, and I think he was just managing it at the end, wasn't he, you know?
Well, there were good results also today for the likes of Alex Rins, of course, Andrea Iannone, Danilo Petrucci tried to make it, 3 Ducatis on the front. Just want to quickly talk about Maverick Vinales, because despite the fact that it looks like there's some light at the end of the tunnel for Yamaha, it doesn't seem to be in Maverick's side of the garage.
Well, he just disappeared without a trace at the start of the race, Steve. Starting from the front row of the grid, we really thought Maverick had made a breakthrough as well in those hot conditions. There are 2 key issues that Vinales has got right now, which he's got to sort out very, very quickly. We've seen it so often this season. He struggles right at the start of the race on brand new fresh tyres, and he struggles to get any momentum going on that full fuel tank. If you look at the second half of Maverick Vinales' races this year, in the second half of races, when the fuel load's lightened and the tyres have come to him, he's as fast as anybody out there, but it's no good being 10th at the end of those first few laps and battling with the likes of Alvaro Bautista. That is something he's got to get sorted out, otherwise he can forget the championship.
Just last word from you, Simon. Danny Pedrosa, huge disappointment.
You know I'm also a Danny fan because of his talent, but it's really not getting better, is it? You know, and as much as Alberto Puig doesn't want to talk to us about who's going to replace Danny, it's the writing's on the wall, you know. Well, I'm sorry, Danny.
Well, that's all we got time for After the Flag here in Mugello. It's absolutely baking up here. I think it's time we went and got a nice cool beer. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you in Montmello.
The World Championship has tried to save it, and he has gone! He's led all the way. Jorge Lorenzo is back in business. He wins for Ducati here in Mugello.
Mugello is Lorenzo land yet again.